Welcome back to day 2 of the Junk Journal July 2025 challenge. This is Serendipity Intended, and my name is Tracy Ann. And here we go. So flipping back to my prompt page really quick, day 2 is shadow, and I like to, when I have a journal in place, I like to kind of look at the prompts and see what they are and what page in the book might be a good fit. And then I put a sticker. This is just a sticky note cut in strips. That way I can use one sticky note and get like 4 pages worth of sort of labels out of them. And so I'll write the name of the prompt. So I've got here, number 2, shadow. So I remember that that's what I wanted to do. And then I'll make some notes if I have an idea of something to use or what have you. I'll kind of jot it down on the slip, and then I'll stick it in the page. And if I I'm just going to flip backwards so you can see this one I'm going to use for secret note. And I thought this girl might be sort of fun to use and on it, and I want to keep this, and I'm thinking maybe to use that for circle and do some sort of overlapping fold outs, etc., etc. These pages are just whatever. This I think I'm going to use torn, maybe do some pockets, like a 3-layered pocket with these 3 pages. So I kind of, when I have ideas, I kind of place them there. And that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do that when I get to those pages, but if I have a thought, I kind of put it there. And then when I get to the day, I decide if it still makes sense. And this one does for me. Day 2 shadow. I picked this page because this chalk quote sort of made me think of shadows. Shadow makes me think of black and white and shades of gray, and this sort of fit here. So I'm gonna tie this page in to this once I'm done. That's the plan anyway. But right now I need to work on this page. So my idea, I was thinking about, how could I do shadow? And I was kind of thinking about the paper doll that I used on yesterday's page, and I'll try and remember to link that in the video right here if you want to go watch that. And I remembered that I had these stamps that I did, and so I was like, I wonder sort of the colors that I was thinking, and it definitely works here. So maybe I could use one of these. And so I was kind of playing around with ideas in my head, and then I remembered that I had these. Actually, let me move these out of the way. These stamps here. I think these are Dana Wakley. I unfortunately cut off the top so that it would fit in the storage container that I have. But these stamps, and they look like shadows to me. They're people, but they also look like shadows, and I thought that was kind of cool. So I chose this one. So I'm going to use this as sort of my focal point for the page, and I'm going to stamp it in black, I think, because I like this black, and it feels like a shadow to me. So then I thought, well, what can I do to the page? And I thought, well, let me just collage it, and then maybe go over it with a wash of some other paints just to give it a little bit more texture and definition, and then see where it goes. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to tackle. That is the whole plan, and I'm not 100% sure other than that where I'm going to go. So I pulled a bunch of gray toned pages, and also this page, which is from the journal that I was kind of playing with that stamp a little bit, trying to get some ink off of it. And I like the type better than this type, so I thought maybe I could use some of this as well on the page. And then I just have some things in various shades of gray. This is more of a brown, but it's darker. I kind of liked it. So just, this actually has a little bit of green, but I liked the organic look. Some tissue paper, love the crinkly, and then this, which was from some, I think it was Junk or Ephemerember, I think was where I got this, sponsored by Louisa Heinzel and 49 Dragonflies. This was a freebie, but it's got lots of great tones, and so from a collage fodder perspective, I thought it was perfect. So I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to grab, where did I put it up? For this, because I'm going to be collaging a whole bunch of things, I'm going to use my matte gel medium to glue everything down. And so that it doesn't bleed underneath, I'm just going to use this piece of wax paper to kind of mask behind it, just to help keep it from oozing to the page underneath. And like I said, I don't really have much of a plan, other than I want to cover this text because I don't like it as much. But I do want to use this text, so I guess I'll start with that. I don't know that I necessarily need the yellow, but I'm gonna use it here to cover up this red because I really don't like the red. So I will, excuse me, I'll do that, and then, because I'm kind of collaging the whole thing, I'm just gonna go ahead and, actually I should probably do this side. Oopsie, don't want to get it on the wires. I'm also gonna leave the whatever you call this, when you pull something off of a ring binder, the little smudgy that's left. I don't know what the term is, so I'm gonna call it smudgy. But I sort of like that texture that it adds, and I have this little slip here, so I'll stick that. This is thinner, so I am just about out in this container. Don't want to cover up. Oh, there goes that. Oh, kind of loving the texture. And I don't know if you can see it real well on camera, but this is, it's bleeding, the word quotes is bleeding through just ever so slightly, which I love. All right, get this adhered down real well. Okay, and what else do we have? I sort of like this leaf thing. I definitely don't want the hard white edges though, so that was not my, maybe if I put this down I'd be better off. It's not my best tearing job. And this edge too, and maybe there, sure, why not. I am thinking, since I want to put the stamp somewhere in the center, that, or at least that's what I'm thinking right now, that I want to have the center a little bit lighter, but I might change my mind as I go through that. Okay, so I've used a little bit of this. I've got this gray. How about, this is kind of fun. Just tear off a piece of this. Again, I'm thinking about this more as background than something that I'm really going to pay a whole lot of attention to, so that way. So I'm not too terribly concerned, because I'm going to be painting over it. I'm not too terribly concerned about maybe there. continuity or anything like that. Maybe I don't necessarily mind that edge, but I don't want all of them to be. Oops, I keep intending to do the back, and then I end up trying to paint the that is working. I still want to cover this up a bit. What else do I have? I have some of this. That's sort of fun, actually. This is a tag off of, I think, a couch that I ordered. I don't even remember now what this is, but, well, it's working for me. Gosh, I think this definitely is going to be the last page that I am able to use this particular jar of matte gel. No, I want that. Oh, but I don't like, oops, well, I don't like the way I want this to be here. Maybe I can put this up here. I am typically a little more intentional about gluing things down just the right way when I do a collage background, but I'm often not super thrilled with the results that I get, so I'm trying to be a little bit more serendipitous about what I do. I do feel like I need a little bit more of this. It's sticking to me. Again, because this tissue paper, excuse me, is really thin. So I'm going to use I'm gonna bunch that a little bit more intentionally than I did the one up on the top. I do like those wrinkles, but maybe give it just a little bit more texture. Excuse me. And then maybe don't want that straight edge. This bunch a little bit as well. Okay, I'm liking that. The only thing I wonder is if I need something else here. Maybe, so I ended up losing all of that type. Maybe I'll, that's sort of fun. I also ended up losing all of that zhuzh from the torn off piece, but that, again, that's okay. Okay, I like that. Okay, so now I need to let this dry. Oh my goodness. I need to let this dry before I do anything else with it. So push pause for just a moment and let that get cured. All right, so I cleaned up my desk a little bit, and I decided I really don't want to wait until this air dries, so I'm going to use my heat gun and see if I can't speed up the process a little bit. There, that is much better. So now I wanna paint over this to tone it down just a little bit so that the black stamp will show up a little bit better. And I thought, I'm not sure if I want to do a white or a gray. So I'm gonna kind of play with that a little bit. I'm gonna keep this paper underneath here to protect from now the paint. And let me get my little high-tech, I think this is a mayonnaise jar lid or maybe a peanut butter jar lid, but it works pretty well. So I'm going to use this to do my paint. I don't have a lighter gray, which I was thinking I might use. I only have this, it's called medium gray, so it's light-ish, but not light, super light. And I also have these two, one's called Antique Parchment, which is not quite white, and then True White. And I think I'm gonna go, because I wanna tie in with this, I think I'm gonna go with the True White. So I'm gonna try that first. And I'm gonna use this paper to sort of play. Now, I often use a paintbrush, but for this I wanna, okay, so I don't know that I necessarily need to thin that out. I think I might be able to just use it as is to get the color that I want. Okay, here goes. Whoa, this is always the scary part. Here goes nothing. So I like, when I'm doing this, I like using my finger because I feel like I have a little bit more control than I do with a paintbrush. Okay. Oh, I love the way the paint looks on these bumpy areas. Okay, I like that, but I was imagining something a little bit more muted, so I think I'm gonna have to add a little bit of gray to that. So let me just add a drop of the gray in, and then I'll just, oh yeah, that's the color. Yeah, it's a little bit more. Change the color that I get depending on where I put my finger. I like that. Yay, this is fun. And I do think that I want to get some amount of color on everything so I don't have that stark white background showing. Oh, that was pretty. Yeah, I think I'm excited about this paper that I chose with the green. It's not reading as green. It's definitely reading more as a gray than it did before. Okay, liking this. There is literally no rhyme or reason at all to what I'm doing. Just kind of creating a background. Okay, that, to be really honest, was very fun. And I feel like I've got a great next layer going on here. Which is cool. I feel like I need something else though. So I'm gonna go grab a stencil. I will be right back. Okay, and I am back. I went for one stencil and I ended up pulling 3 from my stash. Excuse me. And now I gotta decide which of the 3 I'm gonna use. This was the one that I was originally thinking of. I love this stencil. It's from the gym. Well, all 3 of these are from Tim Holtz. And but I love this one. I don't have the name of any of these, and I'm really sorry. But this I just love, and that might be kind of fun. But then I also thought this one, it's sort of a mesh weave, could also be interesting. And then I grabbed the dots. Now I'm not so sure that I want to do the dots. Maybe I'm going to start with this one. And I think actually what I think I want to do is, I've done this before. I'm going to move this over for a second. This is a cool technique. I need a paper. I'll just use this one. And what I did was, and I'm going to use this gray, get a little bit more of that. I don't need a ton, but I'm going to use this gray, and I think I am going to actually grab a stencil brush and use it to just really quickly stencil this pattern onto this paper, and it'll make some great collage fodder. It doesn't have to be, I'm not even concerned that it's super even, because what I'm really trying to do is get the paint on here so that then I can transfer that paint onto the page, almost like a stamp. So it'll give me the reverse image of, this, even though I also I just love this color, and the way that it looks on white. But oh, dread, it didn't work out quite as much as I wanted it to. I got a little bit there. That's okay. I am gonna take just a little bit. Oh, this is transferring a little bit differently, I guess. Oops, I got some of the white. That's okay. It's transferring a little bit differently onto this. It's not quite as dark as I was imagining that it would be. Okay. Let me get some more of the straight gray, as opposed to, this might also be still a little bit damp. I really want this shape over here. Let me see if I can get a little bit darker. Yeah, it's just not wanting to transfer in that darker shade. That's okay. All right, so got a little bit of that. I think I am gonna play with this texture too, just a bit. And I'll see that came out a little darker, I think. We just didn't have enough paint. That's all right. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then maybe some alphabet things here. Just a bit. Okay. Okay, liking that. Getting there. I wonder. No, I'm gonna hang on to this. I might use this later. Okay. All right, so set this aside. So I am going to take a pause and clean up my brush. Again, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and had a little bit of a disaster occur because I paused the video and got up to clean my brushes and my stencils, and I whacked the brush against my phone and knocked the whole thing down, and so yeah, I had to start over. So I also did use my heat gun to dry this a little bit further. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm, happy accidents, the whole serendipity thing. So that little heat bubble that I got created the coolest texture here. I'm super excited about that. Okay, I'm not sure that this background is completely done yet. I feel like it needs a little bit more, but I'm gonna wait until I get my stamp image on there to get started. So again, like I said before, I wanted to use this Dina Wakley stamp as a focal point. And so ahead of time, because I didn't think it would be very interesting to watch me cut things out, so I went ahead and I stamped an image just on white paper, like printer paper, and I think it is like a photo paper. It's a little heavier than regular copy paper, but it's just white paper. So I cut it out, and so I would have it here. And I have to say, I really love the way that this looks. And I was also playing with this while I had the camera paused. And then I thought, you know, I'm just curious, what would it look like if there was just a hint of color surrounding this? And so I stamped the same image on a couple of colored papers, and I just wanna try them. I mostly cut them out. I didn't cut out the bottom part of the leg, but enough. So just some different people. But before I try them out, I want to show you what the background pages look like. So just really quick, here are the images that I have here on the paper before I cut them out, so you can see what the background pages look like. All right, and so now that you've seen that, let's take a look at these on this background. I love this, but I'm curious if there is, you know, anything else that might also be interesting to me. So set this one aside, and this was sort of the paisley one. Okay, that's fun, but it feels too same. So not making me super excited. How about this one? This was the sunflowery sort of one. Ooh, now that's more interesting. I love how there's like a warmth here and a little bit of yellow. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that one's a possibility. This one was the sort of stripy paper. It actually wasn't big enough, so I had to tape it together on the back. So I love the color and the intensity of the color, especially the red, but I'm not in love with the stripe. So I think that's a no. And then this one was the surfboard one, and that one is also kind of fun. So I've got kind of three choices here, really. I have the original one in black, which has a definite look. I have sort of sunflowery one, which gives it a completely different vibe. And then I have this brighter one. This one definitely feels the most summery and the most happy. Oh, this is hard. I don't think I could go wrong with any of them. I like this one because the center didn't stamp so well, so you can see a little bit more of the color. But I like the colors better in this one. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to cut out the legs and see if that helps me make a decision, because I feel like I'm not really comparing apples to apples just yet. So I also think I cut that wrong, but that's okay. Ooh, foot is in the way. I can't see what I'm doing. All right, so there's that one. And let's get rid of a little bit of extra color between the legs that won't be there. And now let's see. I really do like that. And I still like that one. Okay, decide between the two. This one or this one? This one or this one? I think I'm going to go between the two with this one. I don't think I would go wrong with this. This got some of the warm colors in here too, but I feel like it's got a little bit more color going on down the leg. And so then it's a question of color or not color. Color, you know, I think I'm going to go with color, because I feel like going with this color gives it, makes it a focal point without me having to add anything else to it to make it pop. So I'm going to go with this. Now, again, he needs something to stand on, and even though this kind of almost feels like a little bit like a shadow or a sidewalk, doesn't it, that he's walking down? I didn't even think about that till just now. But I think he still needs something to stand on. So I'm gonna take this, and again, I'm sorry, I don't have any of the things. It's just this text stamp. I don't think it says anything. And I'm gonna use my archival ink, and I'm just gonna press right into the stamp. And it's actually, I'm gonna do this upside down. No, maybe I won't. How do I like it? Yeah, that way. I'm gonna do it right there. And just gonna press it on. I stretched it a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Let me actually erase the ink. Get a little bit more stamp out of it. Okay, some good collage fodder for later. Put this back, and now have stamp all over my fingers. You know, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more with this stamp up at the top right here. Give it a little bit more, and then maybe just a hint right there. I like to do things in threes. Okay, so there's that. And again, get that ink off, create some additional fodder. Oh, my hands are a mess. Must be a good day in the crafting room. Okay, so I got some fodder going. I got some cool pieces that maybe I can use somewhere else. And so I am loving this. Now I wanted to, I'm not sure I'm done with this page yet. I wanted to tie the two together, and I think color-wise they work together really well. This extra white strip here bothers me, so I thought perhaps I could use some washi tape over here just to fill this in, and then maybe add a bit of that washi tape in on this page as well to kind of tie them together. So I pulled a bunch of black ones, and now that I'm looking at this, I think this one is too wide as is this one. And I think they're also, the patterns are too, they draw too much attention to themselves. The checkers sort of mimics this a little bit, so I kind of like that. These are, I don't know, there's some sort of quotes or labels or something. They're an interesting shape, and they might also work. I'm kind of trying them out here. This is just almost like a dashed line, which also could be interesting there. And then this has words on it, and I think it's too wide there, but I think I might use this in the background here as a way to get some text on the page. So now I just have to decide which of these is going to work the best along the side. And actually, I think I'm not sure just looking at it this way, so I think I'm gonna just test them out a bit. That seems very defined, although I guess I could use it over on the other side. That's okay. Don't love it, don't hate it. How about this? You know, I thought that would work and tie in with this, but it's the wrong vibe. It's totally the wrong vibe. And oh, come on. Now this sort of ties in with some of the other places. If you saw my video on the front cover, they're the original creator of this book. In fact, let me just flip. Had on her front cover dashes, and I continued that all the way around on my front cover. So I sort of like the idea of continuing that motif of dashes. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just continue the motif of dashes on this page. I don't want to wrap, sometimes I wrap it over to the other side. I don't think I want to in this case. And I'm going to use the holes from the spiral to help me line it up and get it straight. And that'll also give a little bit of space between the page and the washi. Oh, that was totally the right choice. And then I'm wondering, I do want to add some here, but I'm wondering, so it's got these phrases here: poetry, design, artist. I sort of like artist because it would pop a little bit. So let me get to that part here, artist, and definitely gonna tear it and tear it again. Let's stick it right there for a second. And then I will put this back. I need to get a credit card or strip or something to be able to put these divots on, but for now I'm keeping it on the roll also works. Hopefully I'll remember that's what I did. Okay, so that done, and then maybe put this here. With the dots. What's on the back here? No, I definitely don't want to continue that over the watering cans. I do think there are words on this. I want this edge to be cleaner, so I will cut that off. I haven't stuck this down because I'm thinking I want to put something behind it just to help it pop a little bit. And since I failed in my attempt to get this to be super, super dark here, I'm thinking maybe I will tear a little bit of this off and add it behind to give a little bit more, don't want that, give it a little bit more, that's too big, give it a little bit more presence, like so. Okay, that works for me. All right, so I need to get a little bit of glue. Whoa, pin flew out of that. Oh my gosh, that was not what was supposed to happen. All right, technical timeout. Okay, that was bizarre. This is a brand new bottle of art glitter glue. I've never had that happen before, where it just ran out like that. It was sort of watery, very, very strange. It's behaving now. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down, put my pin back in. I'm knocking everything over today. Just knocked my glue stick over. Okay, now the only other thing I'm thinking is that the prompt is shadow, and I am going to use, I think, my distress crayon in a bit, and in the black, because I feel like it needs a little bit more black to it. And but I'm also wondering if I should, since this is shadow, if I should take the stamp, that's what I'm trying to get here. It would be easier if I actually lifted it, take it out. I took the stamp and used the stamp image to create a shadow on the page. So I'm gonna trace it in pencil. And then I've got to approximate, actually, let me take her out of the way here. And so approximate the feet, and yeah, there. And then maybe I'll use my gray. So this is Hickory Smoke, a distress crayon. Maybe I'll use that for, except I lost the feet. I don't know where that, there, okay. Don't think you're really going to be able to see that, but oh, I love this, sort of artsy-fartsy looking. Oh, I am in love with that. Yay, 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 yay. I am not good at drawing people, but I am very good at tracing things. That turned out pretty cool. So there's a shadow there, and I am loving this. And let me get this glued down. I am gonna leave, I think, I'll get the feet because they're creating the shadow and I don't want to mess up the illusion. So I'm going to do the feet, and I'm going to do the torso and into the arms, but I'm not going to glue down the whole thing. I'm going to let the bits and pieces raise up so that there's a little bit of dimension created there. And then make just some marks on the page to give a little bit of texture. Oh my, I'm having a heck of a time with this bottle right now. It's leaking, and to figure that out later. All right, and then I want to, where is my Tombow marker? I want to add a little bit there as well. And then I feel like I need just a touch of some lighter, just to, yeah. Okay, so I thought I had ordered the little machine that would punch the words that look like this. I thought that would be a cool way to number each of my pages, and it was in my cart and not ordered, so it is supposed to arrive at some time today, but it has not yet arrived, and so I am unable to add the number 2 to this page so that I remember which prompt it was. But I think I'm satisfied with this. I think I'm done, and I hope you have fun creating. Happy July.